Ladies and gentlemen, digital investors, welcome back to another video. If you're a regular viewer and you want to help support the show, make sure you drop the video a like. I appreciate it immensely. And today we have some pretty cool things to be going over. So one of those is XRP moving approximately $3 billion in remittances from US to Mexico, according to founder of the crypto exchange Bitso. We also have XRP and blockchain will explode in the next month. So guys, this is pretty insane. I highly recommend you stick around and stay till this part of the video because it goes over the adoption curve that a Ripple report basically put out. And it's really interesting. So make sure you watch this video at least till we get to this portion of it. We'll also go over 5 on-chain indicators investors should follow. Top crypto analyst Willy Woo says incredible amounts of BTC buying underway, and the Bitcoin price closes above 13K for the first time since January 2018, driven by a flurry of good news. But you could also say that this was driven by, extreme selling that it has now recovered, right? That March crash. So it's definitely, I think, a combination of we got oversold, we got overextended, plus we have had some great news and buyers are stepping in now and things look great. So we're going to get into the XRP stuff, but we're going to start here with Bitcoin just because this is where we are right now, right? This has just happened. This is some big news and this is exciting. So Bitcoin closed above $13,000 Saturday for the first time in over 2.5 years, following a week of positive news for the leading cryptocurrency. Bitcoin had closed above 13K on January 15th of 2018, 6 weeks after Bitcoin closed above 13,000 for the first time, on its way to an all-time high of $19,892. And on Saturday, which was yesterday, if depending on when you're watching this video, we have closed above $13,000 again. Guys, extremely bullish. I think a couple of videos back, I had a chart and we talked about if Bitcoin closes above this point that was, about the $13,000 point, how bullish that would be, especially if we get the weekly close there. And we have gotten our first close. So let's see if we can still continue to put in closes, especially if we get like a bullish engulfing candle from here. That would be absolutely insane. And, I don't think it's too unreasonable to believe that because of, well, this article kind of reinforces it. This is really interesting. So let's dive into this and then maybe you'll see, why Bitcoin is being propelled. How is Bitcoin gone from the March crash all the way to $13,000, right? Like, how do these runs even happen? So analyst Willy Woo says incredible amounts of BTC buying is underway. Willy Woo thinks an extremely great time to buy Bitcoin. Woo says on Laura Shin's unconfirmed podcast that BTC's network to value ratio is flashing a buy signal not seen since the March CV price crash. NVT was the first on-chain signal where you could say buy here and sell there. Essentially, the easy way to understand is it's the equivalent of the price of earnings ratio for Bitcoin. In a company, you have stock price, you have earnings. In Bitcoin, it's a store of value asset like gold. You do not have earnings, but what we do have is underlying investor activity like new investors coming out. There's a constant churn, and the higher you see that churn, the higher the velocity of Bitcoin moving to new investors. The more fundamental activity in the network, so it's the ratio of the valuation, the market cap to that activity, and that creates this price earnings ratio for Bitcoin. Now, Wu says it's a bullish indicator when you see a lot of investor activity that's not yet reflected in price. He notes that current investor activity is through the roof. So as of right now, guys, we have investor activity that he says is through the roof. He goes on to say that has pushed the NVT ratio down, showing that BTC is as undervalued as it was during the CV19 price bottom in March. So think about that, guys. Back during the pandemic, in the March crash, when Bitcoin went down to lower than $4,000, right now, Bitcoin is just as undervalued right now at $13,000 as it was back then at $4,000. That is because of the paradigm shift that has happened with Bitcoin, right? Since recovering, and especially I think since this PayPal news that we have gotten and the plethora of news that we have gotten for the month of October. The month of October has been an excellent month for crypto. While crypto's prices have retraced, the news that we have gotten and the developments that have been made are unprecedented. This is great stuff. So to be just as undervalued now as we were back in the price crash of March is a crazy thing to think about. And that kind of builds the case for, hey, maybe Bitcoin right now is actually going to go and test the all-time high, right? Bitcoin might do that. Are you prepared for that, right? On the flip side, are you prepared if Bitcoin does go up to test its all-time high? And what if it doesn't penetrate through? What if we come back down and retrace? What if we don't make it to the all-time high? What if we fall flat because some bad news comes out? Or what if there's no buying pressure? What if there's too much selling pressure? Then what? So be prepared from all angles. Again, don't get swept up in the daily happenings, right? Daily, we're looking at all this stuff. It looks great. But as far as price action, long term, keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies long term. And what happens in the next, 3-4 months doesn't really matter. Whether prices go up or down, there's still a much bigger prize at the end of this road that we aren't getting to in the next 4 months, right? I don't think Bitcoin is going to make a new all-time high in the next 4 months. It's a little bit farther out. So we just need to stay strapped, let Bitcoin do its thing, and let's see what the charts do, right? Let's see what the charts do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride. If you're not investing more than you can afford to lose, then this should be an insanely fun time for you. Researching these cryptocurrencies, looking at the news, continuing to DCA and get these great prices, and just sitting back and waiting, right? This is a patient person's game. The patient person is going to win. So Willy Woo says now we're in the same zone, but it's driven by incredible amounts of organic buying and investor activity that's not yet reflected in the price. And we're only seeing more activity now with the PayPal announcement and a lot more people coming in. I'm actually seeing this on the metrics right now, that there's a lot of new participants coming in. So yeah, it's perfectly a great time to buy if you're in it for the year or multi-year period. Let me read that again, at least say that again. So yeah, it's a perfectly great time to buy if you're in it for the year or multi-year period. Okay, this is coming from Willy Woo because we are so undervalued, right? Like I said, guys, if you're going to look to sell, not when Bitcoin pumps, not in the next 2 or 3 months, but you're looking to sell, the high of this next bull market, or maybe you just want to hold for 10 years, whatever it is, then right now these are great prices. Even though we've came up from 4,000, the thing is this all this news that has came out, that recovery, and if once the elections are done, if the elections go well, which hopefully they do, guys, not in regards to a specific candidate winning, but just in regards to just a smooth process, hopefully no chaoticness, hopefully no S hitting the fan or something crazy, then it should be very bullish overall for cryptocurrencies, other markets, right? If we get this kind of recovery, even if traditional markets don't get a recovery, that does not change the fact that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies could still perform very, very well, right? If there is correlation to the stock market, there is good reason to say that Bitcoin follows the stock market in a sense. It has, at least as of recently. We've covered a couple things on this channel, people saying it's decoupling, people saying that now Bitcoin's more connected to gold. Again, these are all things that we're just going to have to wait and see. But with Bitcoin being so undervalued and more buyers stepping in, and the amount of news that we get, the amount of adoption that we get, I think it's pretty clear to say that cryptocurrency adoption is coming, and the underlying value of these digital assets is going to rise. It's simple supply and demand. If more people come into this market, the prices are going to rise. It is that simple. And I just can't believe that we're undervalued at $13,000 and we have a lot of buyers coming in. That is amazing. So our price for today, we have Bitcoin just under 13,000, Ethereum at 407, XRP is at 25 cents, Bcash at 271. You have Chainlink at $12, DOT is at 431, Cardano at 10 cents, Stellar at 8 cents. Our crypto fear and greed index for the day is at 76, so we're up 3 points from yesterday. Still in greed. Again, guys, Bitcoin hasn't made a move, so we're just kind of sitting where we are. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of people just want Bitcoin to move right now, continue climbing, but you have to understand that if you hold or have any exposure to altcoins, Bitcoin going sideways is going to be a great thing for you to let these alts catch back up. And then at the same time as well, then Bitcoin's not going up too fast, right? We're building up a nice floor, we're building up a nice, solid, long-term support, which is what we want if we want to not only penetrate through old all-time highs, but also maintain our status up there and really go into some serious new paradigm shifting price discovery. If you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every single day when I upload. We upload videos like this. We go over cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on in the crypto space to help keep you up to date. If you guys could also just drop the video a like for me, liking the video, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. It picks it up, it pushes it to more people. It helps grow the digital investor community. You get to support the channel. So I appreciate all the support you guys choose to give. Now let's move on to the Ripple and XRP news of the video. So the XRP and blockchain adoption will explode in the next month. So report finds increased adoption of digital assets such as XRP and blockchain technology during 2020. In the next 2 years, 24% of survey participants expect to be in a blockchain product testing phase. So stick through this, guys, because this is some awesome stuff. So Ripple has published its 3rd annual report on blockchain in payments with positive results for the blockchain industry, the XRP digital asset, and cryptocurrencies. The report is based on a survey conducted from August to September of this year. The 854 respondents are involved in the provision of payment services and were spread over 22 countries. In addition, Ripple revealed that the company surveyed range in size in terms of revenue from $500,000 to more than $10 billion. In that regard, Ripple makes a comparison with the 2019 results and states that the blockchain industry is in its final phase of adoption. Okay, the final phase of adoption. In the current context with the global economy affected by the pandemic, the report says business interest in digital assets when paired with blockchain technology for payments has grown sharply as early adopters look to increase the speed in payment settlements. In that sense, the report indicates that 79% of participants have shown growth by entering unexplored markets and improving their services and products. Of all sectors, the most crucial was innovation in payment technology, according to 44% of the participants. The companies surveyed say that their customers expect them to continue to innovate in payment technologies. In terms of adoption, the report found that 34% of participants are in the production of some solution with blockchain tech. Therefore, this sector has made a leap between early adopters to early majority. Okay, that is the major thing here, guys. A leap between early adopters to early majority. 24% of the participants expect to complete production and move on to a pilot test and a proof of concept within the next 2 years, as shown below. So let's look at what is shown below. So this graph, maybe some of you have seen it, maybe some of you haven't, but this is the blockchain adoption curve. And at a first glance, it might look a little confusing. Maybe what am I looking at? Basically, blockchain comes out, right? Blockchain technology is here and it's just sitting there, right? And nobody really knows what to do with it. So what happens? How have we gotten to the point that we are at now, right? Where we have projects building, we have token converters, people are building on top of other blockchains, we have dApps, we have decentralized finance. How did it all get here? Well, it all started when blockchain came out, and who was the first people to adopt it? It was the innovators, right? So the innovators are the first people to adopt blockchain, and innovators make up, about 5%, right? So about 5% of the entire population are people that will use blockchain. You could say if about 5% are going to come in as innovators. After that, you have the early adopters. That's about 15% of people are going to be coming in as early adopters. Now, a lot of people have always thought, are we still in the innovators phase? Are we still in early adopters phase? Are we still in the early majority? I'm not going to talk about my opinions or what other people think, but we're just going to talk about what Ripple has put out. And Ripple has basically said that we have made the leap from early adopter into early majority. So according to Ripple, we have basically just made the leap, right? So for the past couple months, we must have been at the very end right here of this early adopter phase. And if we think about it, now that you can buy Bitcoin on Cash App, now that you can buy Bitcoin on Robinhood, we have the PayPal news. You're going to be able to shop with cryptocurrencies along with the massive list of other news that plenty of people have been documenting, that I myself have been documenting. I think it's easy to say, okay, yeah, you know what, we probably are out of the early adopter phase. We have more people talking about Bitcoin. If you ask people on the streets, hey, have you heard of Bitcoin? A lot of people have heard about Bitcoin at this point, right? So the Bitcoin is kind of out there. It's not this thing that nobody knows about anymore, right? They know what Bitcoin is. Not everybody yet, but a lot of people, especially younger people, they know what Bitcoin is. So if we have now made the transition from early adopter to early majority, then that kind of also reinforces what Willy Woo here was saying about how Bitcoin is basically undervalued. Willy Woo was also saying that there's more buying coming in, and Ripple is telling us that we have moved past the early adopter into early majority, and look how much more buying and adoption happens in the early majority, right? Innovators 5%, early adopters 15%. Now entering into the early majority, there is 25 to 30% that us here in here as early adopters, we get to absorb this. We get to absorb this and ride this all the way from the early majority all the way until one day we make the leap into the late majority. And also look at how much higher this chart goes for early majority, right? There's a lot more people, a lot more volume coming in than in the innovator phase or the early adopter phase. Obviously the innovator phase was the best time to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The second best time was early adopter, obviously, and now we're in early majority. Honestly, guys, I'm very thankful that me, you, everyone watching this video was able to participate in adopting blockchain while we were in the early adopter phase. We are still so early. So very, very cool, guys. Very bullish. Now, in emerging markets, 37% of participants are in production to implement blockchain technology. Asia and the Pacific is the leading region in these terms, with 41%, followed by Latin America by multiplying its participation in blockchain production by 6. Then the Middle East and Africa with 24% of production and a possible increase to 29, as shown in the graph below. XRP and its role in the growing blockchain adoption. 98% of participants using a blockchain have deployed technology for supply chain management, 62% commerce, and 51% finance. So it's not surprising that 99% of participants said their company could use a digital asset such as XRP to process payments or as a medium of exchange. In contrast to the 2018 results, this figure has grown by 94%. The speed to make cross-border transactions received 40% of the responses, and this aspect, the digital asset XRP and its instantaneous transfers with Ripple's ODL solution, offer the most important benefit for respondent companies, along with cost being 32% and reliability being 27%, as shown in the graph. Diversity in the early majority. If you guys want to pause this, you can take a look at it. Among the obstacles to blockchain adoption, participants mentioned a lack of regulatory clarity, the amount of investment required to implement the technology, and security. However, the result shows that digital assets such as XRP are increasingly becoming an important part of the development of the blockchain industry. The report concludes that emerging markets are leading the charge, recognizing that responsible usage of blockchain and digital assets can unleash tremendous potential for their economy. Without a doubt, both will drive greater financial inclusion and economic growth, not unlike the internet's impact. Mature markets stand to benefit as well. So guys, blockchain adoption is here. We are in the early majority according to Ripple. Now let me know in the comments, do you agree with Ripple or do you disagree with Ripple, right? Because this is just Ripple's opinion. So what do you think based on your research, based on everything that you know? Do you agree with Ripple's assessment that we have now left the early adopter phase and we have begun the early majority phase? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear what all of you have to say. Now, we also have XRP moving approximately $3 trillion in remittances from US to Mexico, according to Bitso. ODL is moving nearly 10% of the remittance volume from the US to Mexico, according to Daniel Vogel, chief executive of the Mexican crypto exchange Bitso. The US-Mexico remittance corridor is one of the busiest in the world. More than $30 billion was sent south across the border in 2017. Those figures indicates XRP is currently responsible for about $3 billion in annual remittances from the US to Mexico. Vogel says that Bitso, a Ripple partner, has had to chisel out their place in the regulatory landscape. He says it's been a long journey for us navigating the regulatory landscape in Mexico. We've played a strong hand in shaping it as well. Today, Mexico has a comprehensive set of regulations if you want to build a crypto business in the country. I'm very pleased that we've been able to secure meetings with folks at basically every relevant regulatory institution in Mexico or a regulatory agency in Mexico. We have always found individuals of each of those institutions that are willing to listen and who are intrigued by the technology. He also highlights that users can easily jump in and out of crypto using Bitso's remittance rails. In our case, we're assisting in the conversion of US dollars to Mexican pesos, where the digital asset XRP is a bridge currency. We're processing close to 10% of the remittances from the US to Mexico through on-demand liquidity. We believe that in Latin America, you have an immediate era of opportunity for building real use cases because trust in financial institutions is eroded. Access is very limited, and there's just a very big need for these financial services and products. We really believe that a radically improved financial system is being created on top of this technology. Remember what Christine Lagarde said, that it will seem like nothing is happening, like nothing is moving forward, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be here. It's just going to be here before everyone's eyes, and it's just going to be what people use, right? At least that's what Christine Lagarde says. And once you understand what blockchain is, once you understand that blockchain is like a new internet or almost an enhancement of the internet, allowing you to send value like the internet allows you to send information, and all the different projects that allow you to interlay, it is absolutely insane. And this technology it's basically already here, right? Like Ripple said, many of these companies already have solutions to problems, and they're in the pilot phase, right? Or ending their pilot phase. So very cool to see. Now, we also will finish off with 5 on-chain indicators investors should follow. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, again, likes help a ton, and I really do appreciate any support that you guys choose to give. So we'll bang through these quick. So what are the 5 on-chain indicators you should follow? Number 1 is exchange inflows. The first indicator that I look at every day is exchange inflows. Gradwell said investors typically transfer coins from their wallets to exchanges when they want to liquidate their holdings and take direct custody of their holdings when they have a bullish view on the crypto. A surge in inflows in a rising market could be considered a sign investors lack confidence in the uptrend. When you see large inflows, it's time to be cautious. Second is trade intensity. To determine the impact of exchange inflows on the supply side, investors should keep an eye on the demand side with the help of the trade intensity metric, which measures the number of times an inflowing coin is traded. It tells us how many people are willing to buy Bitcoins sent to exchanges. An uptick in trade intensity shows that buyers are outweighing sellers, and it is a sign of trend strength. The third indicator to follow is inter-exchange flows. Investors can buy cryptocurrencies with fiat currencies like the dollar, or use dollar-backed stablecoins like Tether to fund purchases. Crypto to fiat exchanges facilitate the exchange of dollars for cryptos, while at crypto to crypto exchanges, stablecoins are used as a gateway to crypto trading. Investors can determine whether the market is driven by fiat buyers, such as institutions, or tether traders by keeping track of net flows between these two types of exchanges. Liquidity. Investors can gauge the hodling sentiment in the market by keeping track of the number of liquid and illiquid entities. Clusters of addresses controlled by the same participants in a network. Chainalysis identifies entities by analyzing blockchain transaction patterns to identify which addresses are controlled by a single person or business. This gives a more accurate picture of what is going on, as the data better reflects actual holdings and transfers between people and business, reducing the noise of internal movements of cryptocurrency. And the last, value transfers across blockchains. Value transfer refers to the US dollar of total units on a blockchain that are transformed on a given day. It essentially represents the usage of the blockchain and is accompanied by a rise in the transaction count. When there's greater usage of cryptocurrency, there's more demand, and that drives the price up. So that is the 5 on-chain indicators that investors should follow according to Chainalysis. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified every time we upload. Again, we make a video every day on Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on in the crypto space to keep you up to date. We also hit 8,000 subscribers, so I just got to thank you guys for that. It is honestly because of how much you guys like the videos, comment on the videos, share them, retweet them. That is how all of this is happening. So thank you guys so much, and I'm excited to continue to make some content for you guys. Things are getting really exciting. As I've said on previous videos, I'm more bullish on cryptocurrencies now than I ever have been in my entire time of holding these things, which has been a good number of years at this point. And I'm more excited now than when I first learned about them, which I think is really saying something. I never thought I'd say that, but this is brewing up to be what we can all call, I would say, is the perfect storm. The perfect catalyst for Bitcoin is literally here. And again, it's the waiting person's game. If you're patient, you're going to win this thing. With that said, I will see you all on the next video. Have a great day, everybody.